Good morning, everybody. This is Kyle Speed One coming to you from the racetrack. Yeah, folks, I've got a kit that I've just finished. It is a Griffo A3C Bizzarrini. That's right, Bizzarrini. Kit number GT 182 from George Turner. This was a resin kit with vacuum formed windows and resin parts. Vacuum formed interior with the driver, a resin helmeted driver's head, and resin wheel inserts. Okay. It does have a pod, so you can adjust not only the body float, but you can adjust the pod float. It's got a slot invasion guide on it. It's got, per recommendations from George Turner, mostly it's all slotted parts. The 29 tooth crown gear, 9-tooth brass pinion, a Predator 21,000 RPM motor. The tires are slotted. The paint is by Vallejo. And it came with decals along with all the rest of the parts. It runs pretty good. I may do some work on the front end to actually put in brass bushings for the axle. What he's got is a resin tray where the axle fits down into. Then he's got another resin cap with two screws that screws down on top of the axle carrier, and you still have a little bit of wiggle. Okay, that's why sometimes you'll hear a strange noise emanating from the car, especially when it's going around turns. But other than that, there are no magnets. It's mag free for all you non-magnet people out there. It's a good kit. I thoroughly enjoyed building this kit. Now the decals, you may notice, they had kind of a allergic reaction to my Rust-Oleum X2 clear coat, gloss clear coat, and I had to come back with some sandpaper and lightly sand down the wrinkles that developed in the decals. Then I found out that the decals had been lacquered, okay, and using what I used, it had an allergic reaction with the Rust-Oleum. So note to self and note to everybody else. Sometimes with some decals, something like the Rust-Oleum X2 gloss may have a reaction to your decal. If that happens, you've got one or two choices. You can either just say, the heck with it, after you've done all the painting and all the detail work, and throw it in a bucket of 90% alcohol and start all over. Or you can try salvaging, if you can, by sanding the decal down enough where you could do a repaint, in this case red, order different decals, place the decals on it, and then try doing your clear coat again. I mean, there's not much you can do. I've seen some guys turn around and just scrap the whole project and start all over by putting it in the 99% isopropanol alcohol to strip the paint and the decals off. And that does work. I've done it to several cars and did repaints with them. I did it to this Carrera 512 BB and put it in Gulf colors. And it turned out just fine. It didn't have any problems with that Rust-Oleum gloss clear. So anyway, now that I've rambled on, I enjoy George Turner's kits quite a bit. Hang on a second. If you've seen the other video from a George Turner kit, you might recognize this thing. It's a 1908 Simplex. It turned out really nice. It turned out really, really nice. And again, it's a resin kit. Now I've got the tire coming to put on this rim here. They only, at Pendle Slot, they only sell you 4 tires at a time. So if you've got a tire carrier or spare rim on your car, you're going to have to order 2 packs. So that means technically you're going to have 3 extra tires left over. And that doesn't work on the usual, you're going to need 4 tires to a car. So anyway, again, the paint was from Vallejo on this one. I like it. It was a fun kit to put together also. Refer back to that video if you want more information. But in the meantime, it's the Bizzarrini Griffo, or what is it? I already messed up. Griffo A3C. Nice car. Sexy looking car. I like those scoops on the back window. That looks pretty cool. It went together fine. I had no problems putting it together. And it runs pretty decent. You can't run it because it doesn't have magnets in it too awfully fast. Now I've got it on my throttle press so it drives slow enough for you to appreciate viewing the car as it goes around the track. George Turner kit, slot it per his recommendation. Slot it parts, the wheels, the axles, the tires, the gears, and then the Predator motor and the slot invasion rather guide kit. That comes with the brushes, it comes with the eyelets, it comes with the guide and the washer and the screw to mount it into your chassis. You know, it's rare that you run across a slot car, any slot car, that you don't have to fiddle with. But this one, with just a little more tinkering, I think this could actually prove to be right up there with NSR or, you know, most other things. Slot it. But it's up to you to make those upgrades. Yeah, it's your time and your effort to do so. So, one more time around. There we go. Right in front of the start finish. Again, George Turner's Griffo Bizzarrini. Look up the history of this guy, Bizzarrini. Look at some of the images of the other cars that he's done. Prolific stylist in aerodynamics, and it makes a nice looking car. Now, this is not, the windshield wiper is not from his kit. This is a spare one that was left over from other projects. And I did find a photo where a car did have only one windshield wiper on it, you know, just for the driver's side. So technically it's allowable. Now, if you're wondering, as I said before, the red is, it's not Ferrari red, it's a different red. Matter of fact, I think it's an RLM color that the Germans had back in World War II for markings. And I love the color. It looks good, looks great. You know, it even has vacuum formed headlight covers, which is fun to shape and cut out, and you know, it takes a while to get the shape right. We've got the fuel filler here, license plate, tail lights, tail pipes, various vents and what have you, lights and all that around the car. It's a good looking car. Again, give George Turner a look on his website. I think you'll be pleased. They're fun. They're easy to put together. I didn't have any difficulty with the vacuum form window parts. Once you get them trimmed, they fit right off in there pretty much perfectly. Like I said, I had no problem with the vacuum form. Now, the headlight covers, that was a different matter. That takes a while with, you know, X-Acto knife, scissors, and shoot, about 800 grit sandpaper that it took to shape that. And I glued, that's something else too. I glued the windows in and the headlight cover in with foam tack from Woodland Scenics. I think I've mentioned this several other times on my videos. That stuff comes out white, but when it dries to a crystal clear that you can't really tell that it's even there. So if you don't want to fog up your glass, you don't want to smudge it using modeler's glue or even CA glue, super glue, use foam tack by Woodland Scenics, and I think you'll be happy with the results on it. You can use that stuff on any other various parts that you want some kind of a give to, because once it does dry, it doesn't dry rock hard. It dries to where, I don't know how to describe it. It doesn't dry hard, but I'd have to put it up there with kind of like silicone, the consistency of dried silicone, okay? Yeah, give it a try. You might like it when you're doing projects like that. Now, I think the kit cost $60, and by the time you tack in all the other parts to finish the kit, i.e. guide, the slotted parts, wheels and axles and gears, and then your S-can motor. This takes an S-can motor, and I put a 2100 RPM Predator in there. And I pretty much started putting Predators on everything. I love those motors. They run really smooth, they're quiet, and they have plenty of power to them. So basically, I've run on long enough. It's almost 16-minute video. I'll say howdy and goodbye at the same time, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.